Hello, this is Keith Cooks. I'm Keith, and today I'm going to show you how to make Cornish pasties. Actually I'm not, because I'm not in Cornwall, and Cornish pasty is another of those European protected names that we know and love. Which means that if you're making pasties for sale, you can only call them Cornish if they're actually made in Cornwall, which is the county at the bottom left-hand corner of England. Anyway, whatever you call them, they're very nice, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So I'm going to make 2 pasties, and I'm using this soup plate as my template for the pastry casing. That's 23 centimeters diameter, that's about 9 inches. So pastry, I've got about ½ kilo of hot water pastry made with lard, recipe on screen right now. 200 grams of beef, skirt is the preferred option, and a medium onion, a medium potato, and small swede or turnip. The Cornish are as confused as anybody about what's a turnip and what's a swede. Also a good old knob of butter and some ground black pepper and some salt. So you want to peel all the vegetables and chop them into small chunks, around about 1 centimetre. That's a bit less than ½ inch. And I'll throw them in a bowl, and then we want to chop the meat into similar sized pieces, and I think I will trim off this fat because that's not going to be too good. So there we go, and we'll just put this in with the veggies. Good sprinkle of pepper, because there's no other herbs and spices in this. It does need that peppery kick. It makes it lovely. And then we'll just take the butter and break it up into little bits and mix that in as well. And then that can go in the fridge till we're ready for it. Meanwhile, turn your oven on to preheat to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we need to roll out our pastry for our 2 pasties. So take half the pastry dough and form it into a ball and flatten it, and then start rolling. Now the Cornish Pasty Association specification for their pasties doesn't give any detail about the pastry except to say it should be robust, meaning it's got to be tough enough to, well, legend has it, it's got to be tough enough to drop down a mine shaft without it breaking. I think that might be a step too far. But the great thing about hot water pastry is it is very robust, and I've never tried the mine shaft trick, but it's sturdy, and the more you work it, the harder it gets, which in this case is actually a good thing. So I've rolled that out to about, I guess, 4 millimeters, a bit under 1/4 inch. And now we just cut a circle out of it around our plate. So now we're ready to assemble the pasties. I've got some egg wash. This is just 1 egg beaten with a splash of milk added. Here's our filling, and we want to place a heap of it in the middle. So try not to overdo it with the filling. You need plenty of space around the edge. Come on, for the crimp. Traditionally, legend has it that these things were invented for miners in the tin mines of Cornwall for their packed lunch, and so it, their hands would be covered in arsenic and other nasty things. So the pasty crust served as a handle that you used to hold the thing while you ate it, but you didn't actually eat the crust. Whether that's true or not, or a complete load of tosh, I do not know. And there you see, I've got too much filling in there, so I can't actually close it. I might end up making 3 pasties. Okay, so this will be the traditional Cornish crimp. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. What you do is you grab a bit more, push it over, grab the next bit, push it over, and keep on going like that. And you should end up with something that looks a bit like rope, but tastes considerably better. I'm not making a very good job of this. Takes years of practice. And when you get to the end, you just pop that bit underneath. Okay, that's one fairly dodgy looking Cornish pasty. Then they go on a baking sheet with silicone baking liner or greaseproof paper, and we put them in the oven for 45 minutes. And the reason for that long cooking time is so that the innards, which are raw, actually get cooked by the time the pastry is cooked. And I have to say, if I owned a Cornish pasty factory and one of my employees did work like this, I would sack them. Sorry about that, people. Anyway, I'm sure they'll taste delicious. But here's our Cornish pasty, and it smells amazing. However, you can't eat a Cornish pasty when it's straight out of the oven. It's got to cool down a little bit. So it's cooled down a bit, and I'm going to have a taste. And another one. Fantastic.